Hi, welcome to Theory Thursdays. Theory Thursdays are going to be a series of short videos helping to answer some questions about theory that will help you down the line in your music development. A lot of people say that music is a language, which I think is true, and I always like to add that music theory is the grammar part. In other words, it's a little boring, but it's important. Also, some of the rules can be kind of funny. They are there for reasons, but just like I before E except after C, or as in sounding like A as in neighbor and way, there can be exceptions to any rule in grammar or any rule in music theory. So sometimes I'm going to have a good answer for you, and sometimes theory. But I'm here to help you understand the parts of theory that I think will be most helpful to developing a sound understanding of why the music language works the way that it does. These are specifically for piano, but they will make sense on other instruments too, and give you a basic understanding of some of the basic principles that I think are most important and are also pretty solid. So the first basic that we're going to talk about today is going to be distances in music. These are something that you probably hear a lot and could maybe recognize, but you might not know the name for them. Learning these will come in handy when you're playing your scales, when you're playing your chords, when you're playing arpeggios, when you're harmonizing, and also when you're transposing music. There are two ways to measure distance in music: half steps and whole steps, and also intervals. We're going to start by talking about half steps and whole steps. What is a step? In music, a step is one note to the next note. Let's take a look at D on the piano.
When you take a step up, you hit the key E. When you step down from D, you hit the key C. This is called a whole step.
Here's what it looks like on written music. As you can see, D is the space and E is literally above it. C is the line that is literally below it. So stepwise motion is line to space or space to line. But wait a minute. What about those two keys in between, the black ones? Good catch. This is where the half steps come in.
D to the black key above D, we'll call it D sharp for today, is a half step. D to the black key below it, we'll call that D flat for today, will be a half step down. Then from that black key to the C will be another half step down. When you add these two together, that equals a whole step, which we've already talked about.
So that's half steps and whole steps. Why is this important? Let me give you a real life example. I sing in a cover band, which means that we sing other people's music, which is written for another person's voice. Which means that my voice doesn't necessarily have the same range as whoever originally sang the song. If I find that it's a little too low, I might turn to my guitarist or my bassist and say, "Hey, could we take that up a half step?" And they will transpose their music up a half step higher, which makes it easier for me to sing. So if you're working in an ensemble, it's good to know these terms. This will also come in handy when we're learning our scales. Here's how it works on another instrument. This is my ukulele. My ukulele is a stringed instrument, and you'll notice it has these things right here, which are called frets. If I want to move by a half step on a ukulele, I would go from one fret to the next fret. But if I want to move a whole step on the ukulele, I'll go one fret and then skip a fret. So as you can see, half steps and whole steps work for any kind of instrument: a guitar, a bass, a violin, a ukulele. Now let's talk about intervals. Intervals are designated with a number. I'm only going to go through the octave in this video, which is 8 steps. But there are more than that. You'll hear those especially in jazz music. Intervals are as follows: unison, or the same note, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, or octave. When you're counting intervals on the piano, it's easy to see because you can count the number of keys in between.
So a unison is 1. A second is going to be 2 keys. 1, 2. A third, 1, 2, 3. A fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. A fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A seventh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And an eighth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also known as an octave.
Intervals can come in major, minor, or perfect, but don't worry about that today. I'll get to that in another video. So, why are intervals important? Being able to recognize intervals by sight is going to help you in sight reading, and knowing what each one should sound like will help you to hear whether or not you're on track. If a note sounds sour to you, you may be playing the wrong interval, and you can check your hands and check your music to make sure that what you're playing is actually right. Oftentimes, your ear will tell you if you're not playing something the way that it should be played. So that's it for our first Theory Thursday. Please comment with any questions and keep an eye out for my next video. Have a musical day!